Hello, everybody. Today I'm talking about Sun struggles in Gemini. There are going to be two eclipses, Sun opposite Saturn, Ketu, conjunction with Rahu. It's a very difficult transit, especially for the Sun. Sun likes everything in routine and things happening according to plan. But when this eclipse month comes, as I like to call it, when the solar and lunar eclipses are there, then it struggles and we struggle with it as well. And it is part of the ongoing complex transit and what to expect from it and how to deal with it. Hello, this is Komilla Sutton, and I'm talking about Sun in Gemini. This is Gemini in Vedic astrology. So we look at the sidereal zodiac for Vedic astrology. And it starts from 15th of June and lasts till 16th of July. So Sun comes into Gemini and it is coming straight into a very volatile situation because Mars, Rahu are already there in Gemini and opposition Saturn, Ketu. Although Sun doesn't conjoin with Rahu immediately, and Mars may be much later, not for the next few months, but it is right there in the mix of the planets. And then there is also a full moon on 17th, 18th, where moon is opposite of the Sun. So a lot of volatile situations that the Sun is immediately dealing with, and it'll till Mars goes out on 22nd of June. I've already made separate videos for Mars and for Mercury. I'll put a link so that you can check the links out for those videos. But now Sun is in it, and Sun in Gemini, it's being pulled in two different directions. It appears as if it is in a tug of war. It is in Mrigasira Nakshatra, and that is also ruled by Mars. So Mars-Rahu conjunction is affecting it indirectly. And then there are some key dates during this time. And the most important date is that eclipse on 2nd of July. And this eclipse is at 16 degrees of Gemini, and it is going to be opposite to Saturn Ketu. By then, Mars has gone away, but Rahu is there, part of the eclipse energy. And I'll make a separate video for the eclipse, but the eclipse is very close to the USA's 4th of July birthday. So it is showing some unsettled energy for USA this year. If your birthday is near the eclipse, so 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and backwards up to 1st of July, then expect that some changes are happening for you and you are planning some changes. Of course, the eclipse is very complicated because Ketu and Mars, Saturn are opposite, and so they are throwing up extra volatile energy for everybody. And then Sun Rahu conjunction opposite Saturn Ketu. And that is on July 9th at 23 degrees of Gemini. So that is also, these happen every year, but when they happen, the energy is disturbed. Around 2nd of July, you'll feel very strange energy. And then also on 9th of July, when Sun is with Rahu opposite Saturn Ketu. And then the Sun's transit ends with a further difficult energy because the lunar eclipse this year is right at the end of the Sun's transit in Gemini. and the lunar eclipse is at 29 degrees 59 or 57 Gemini, and it is on the day of the Sankranti, and it is also on the day when Uttarayana ends and Dakshinayana starts. And so the Dakshinayana starting at that Makar end of the Sankranti. So Makar Sankranti we saw in January when sun went through Makar Sankranti. That is also a very auspicious day. And now this is the Sankranti of Punarvasu, end of Punarvasu, and here and Gemini, and going into Punarvasu Cancer. But right at the edge, the lunar eclipse, this is also Guru Purnima day. And I think that it's really important to honor the gurus and celebrate it fully. Don't worry that it's an eclipse day. If it is an eclipse day, it means you even need to do more about it, not less about it. So you see that this sun is going to feel very uncomfortable. And with that, we will also feel uncomfortable about who we are, our identity, what we want from life. And because this is an ongoing issue, we had all the volatile planets with Mars, Rahu, Saturn, Ketu conjunction, and then Sun is involved in it, and then Sun, Rahu conjunction, solar eclipse, lunar eclipse. So, politically, I would say life is unsettled. Personally, life can remain unsettled. But the main thing is this, that how you are going to react to it. Your reaction is very important. And how you deal with it calmly, carefully, taking your time, making any decision. And then the 3 nakshatras are also very important just now. So from 15th June up to 22nd of June, Sun is going to be in Mrigasira. Mrigasira is ruled by Mars. It's, it's about intellect and analysis and overthinking things. And as I told you, that Mars remains with Rahu. And also during that time, Mars is going to be conjoining with Mercury and in war with Mercury. So it's a little bit volatile energy. Mercury is the lord of the sign, and Mars is the nakshatra lord. So both are there in a warlike situation. So that means people in power, sun energy is a bit disturbed. Now, sun moves into Ardra nakshatra on 22nd in USA. In India, it will move in on 21st, I think. And this is the time of summer solstice. And whenever the sun moves into Ardra, that day is specially studied in Varshapal of the countries, and especially India, to see how much monsoon you're going to get. Ardra means moist, wet, green. So usually the year's monsoon is decided when sun makes a transit into Ardra. And that day is decided, exact moment of sun's transit into Ardra, the Panchanga and everything is studied to decide how much monsoon is going to be there. And then Ardra itself is can be very destructive and self-destructive because it's ruled by Rahu, and it is not a comfortable position for the sun. And in Ardra Nakshatra, the eclipse is taking place at 16 degrees of 1629 of Ardra is the solar eclipse on 2nd of July. So that is not an easy eclipse, solar eclipse in Ardra. We have to be conscious that we are not being self-destructive. We are not creating problems for ourselves. And normally around the eclipse day, the energy is very disturbed. The solar eclipse is visible in South America. So Chile and Argentina, that area is most affected. But I find that in the rest of the world, it's like a silent eclipse. So it's more psychological and things are disruptive secretly. So we don't know what happens, and then there's sudden upheaval, and that is a thing to note and be aware of. And then Sun on 6th will move out of Ardra. And from 6th to 16th, will be in Punarvasu Gemini. There's a small part of it in Punarvasu Cancer. But Punarvasu Gemini, we have two major things which I talked about. There is the Sun Rahu conjunction on 9th, and then opposite Saturn Ketu. So very stressed out time. And then we go towards the end of Sankranti, and that is a Sankranti. It is Guru Purnima. It is also Eclipse Day. So very volatile on 16th. Actually, it's 16th, 17th, depending on where you are when the eclipse is taking place. And so it is important that day to be really very more spiritual and more Zen-like, and not thinking about doing things and pressurizing yourself and working, because it is overworking. I mean, we have to do what day-to-day things are, and definitely not a day for planning anything and thinking about the Guru, chanting the mantra for Guru, and doing something, honoring your own Gurus at this time, because all this disturbed energy, we can very much think that our Gurus are not, we shouldn't bother about the Gurus. I'm going to make a video about Guru Purnima as well. So that will be somewhere you'll get in the next few weeks. So this end of the Sankranti. So two Sankrantis are there during this time that we have to concerned about. So the first one is 15th of June. Sankranti is always when the sun moves from one sign to the other. And during the Sankranti, it's always a day because there's a transition day. And remember that sun is moving into with all the malefics there. So it's not an easy Sankranti. So it's important to think about how you're going to handle the coming month. What are you planning to keep calm during that day? Usually Sankranti is day for puja and prayer and, meditation, and not to do activity, because there's a transitory element. But I think that the end of Sankranti, which is on 16th, when sun moves out of Gemini and also into Dakshinayana. Dakshinayana means the southerly course of the sun, which is regarded as more complicated. It's also the month of Shravana. So one whole month of worship is done for Lord Shiva. So again, I'm going to post extra video on Shravana. But this Sankranti again is very important to stay calm, to do some simple, meditation, and just go about your day without over pressurizing yourself. And as I said, it is Guru Purnima as well. So remember to honor your gurus, not just living, but from time immemorial, that you're thinking of the gurus. Guru Purnima has been celebrated since sage Vashishta, the first sage, and most important aspect of worship of higher knowledge. So the sun then moves out and into Cancer, into a maybe more easier time. But we are watching this struggle. We struggle with ourselves as far as signs are concerned. Obviously, Leo, who's ruled by the sun, will get most affected, and what area of this planet the sun rules. Also, sun is the natural Atma Karaka. So sun struggles are our soul struggles that we are trying to overcome, try to deal with. And the energy is very complex. That means all our soul struggle on some level or the other are not straightforward. And there is no answer over this month that where you need to go. So rather than trying to find the answer, is just to be and to say that, okay, I'm going to let this month pass and do minimum damage to myself, or make minimum big choices about my life if I can. So all the best, and lots of videos to follow. Thank you very much. Check out my website, komilla.com.